On behalf of the faculty and staff, I would like to thank you all for joining us this morning to welcome the class of 2029 to the West Virginia University School of Pharmacy. For our visitors, I am Ashley Barrickman, the Associate Dean of Admissions and Student Affairs. I ask that everyone please silence your mobile devices as I welcome Dean Petros to the stand.
Good morning. As Ashley said, I'm Dr. William Petros, Dean of the School of Pharmacy. And on behalf of all the faculty and staff, I welcome you to the WVU School of Pharmacy Class of 2029 White Coat Ceremony. I'd like to take a moment to introduce some of our guests and those that are involved in the ceremony this morning. Dr. Betsy Ellswick, who will be speaking next, is from our School of Pharmacy Class of 2001, and she serves as the Director of our Alumni Relations for the School of Pharmacy. Dr. Ashley Berkman, who you've just heard from, is our Associate Dean for Admissions and Student Affairs. Dr. Mohammed Al-Mamoum, which is behind me here, Dr. Gretchen Grofley, who's also up here, and Dr. Marina Galvez, our faculty who will assist in the ceremony today. I'd like to also recognize a representative group of our faculty and staff who have joined us this morning to help celebrate this special occasion, and they're all sitting down here in the front. Good students that they are. Students, Mark Twain once said, "The two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why." Today, I hope you're starting to get closer to answering your why. I certainly want to acknowledge your parents or significant others that played important roles in getting you here today. And I'm sure many of them have joined us today. So let's give them a round of applause. Now, while our faculty and staff are here to guide you and help you through your time at the School of Pharmacy and your path to graduation, there are others who you might not know, wishing you well in your studies and on your way to success. The white coats you're receiving today have been donated by a loved one, a faculty member, a staff member, an alumni, a student pharmacist, or a friend of the School of Pharmacy. And you'll know that by the tags that are in your white coats. Wear your coat with pride. It shows you have a strong support system of those who want you to succeed. Now, the other extremely important support system that we discussed earlier this week are your fellow classmates. You're all in this together, and it's tradition in professional schools for students to help each other pull them through hard times, be it academic or personal. While I was a student here, many of my lifelong friends who were not only pharmacy students, but also those that were studying medicine, nursing, dentistry, or physical therapy. Please take full advantage of these unique multidisciplinary educational environment that you're entering. The School of Pharmacy faculty have worked very hard to choose the next generation of bright and caring people to bring the profession forward. I realize that the students have heard the following characteristics earlier in the week, but I want to repeat some of them for the significant others and some of the faculty in attendance today. Consider a few of the following statistics from your class of 2029. Let's see if I can get the slides to work here. Nice, just what you want to see. Let's see if it'll. Of course, it would have been better if I had tested them a couple of minutes before This will only take a second. I had to restart it. Okay, we're not going to do that. There we go. It's fine. Okay. 33 of you come from, whoops, why did that happen? 33 of you come from West Virginia. And every year I test my knowledge of cities and counties in West Virginia. I start with a blank map and I try to place the stars. Now, stars aren't in West Virginia because there's so many people from different counties. Oftentimes they're centered in the county rather than the specific place in the county you were from. but you cover many different parts of the state. So that's part of the class. There are 25 of you who come from other states. Obviously, Pennsylvania being the closest has the most, but we also have 3 from Maryland, 2 from New Jersey, 1 from Ohio, and 1 from Delaware. Oops, we'll get to that in a minute. Well, all of you succeeded at our prescribed science-related prerequisite courses. At last count, 23 of you already had bachelor's degrees in areas such as biology or chemistry, elementary education, health sciences, and psychology. A number of those degrees come with cum laude, magna cum laude, summa cum laude, or other Latin honor designations. And at least one of you has a master's degree already. Collectively, your college GPA is 3.5, which is pretty amazing given the rigor of classes that you had to take to get here. You've garnered many academic honors and awards for your achievements, and they're too numerous to really talk about here and recite, but suffice it to say, they span from organizations such as universities and foundations to community groups. You've exhibited a high degree of empathy for others by virtue of many community service hours that you have rendered to a diverse array of organizations and of people, including some impressive leadership roles. I'll stop there, but the list of your achievements and service projects goes on. As an alumnus of the School of Pharmacy in the class of 1983, and I like to gauge that when I was in school here, the football stadium was a golf course, and it turned into the stadium while I was here. But it's an honor for me to share a few comments here on this special event. The White Coat Ceremony is the milestone from marking the beginning of your professional career. As you walk across the stage today to receive your white coat, to put it on, your journey to the profession of pharmacy begins. And with that, a path that will lead you toward a commitment toward improving the health of other people, similar to the empathy and compassion practiced by the donors of your coats today. Our faculty are not only incredible teachers, many are also writing textbooks, identifying healthcare delivery problems, and discovering new ways to prevent disease, and while they're receiving national recognitions for those accomplishments. Importantly, the faculty are dedicated to helping transform you into outstanding pharmacists. But make no mistake, you'll have to work very hard to do that before you walk across a commencement stage in 2029 and receive your degree. What is ahead is likely much more challenging than what you've experienced to date in college. Know that we're here to help in any way we can to fulfill your goal of becoming a pharmacist. But please be proactive. And please stay ahead of schedule when you're using your study habits, because things are going to come pretty rapidly. You'll learn manifestations of diseases, pharmaceutical sciences, clinical areas, even some diagnostic information in the classroom, while continuing the application and expansion of that during your experiential rotations in your initial years and mostly in your final year. And now would be a good time to mention artificial intelligence. Even as a student, you'll have access to databases and AI tools and a comprehensive list of drug information via your smartphone or computing device. However, what AI can't do is integrate those data and talk about the ethical and moral and social and human reasoning that it's important for you to make a treatment decision for an individual patient. So many of you said during your admission interviews that you entered the profession of pharmacy to help others. While you have the knowledge to treat patients, you must also be compassionate and earn their trust in order to provide care for them. So what would come to mind if I asked you or anyone in the audience as a 1 or 2 word descriptor of what it would be like to be a pharmacist? Medication dispenser, maybe? Counselor? An information provider? A vaccinator? Of course, it's many of these things, but also much more. Your role will be greater and the opportunities far broader than what you might imagine right now. In essence, it could range from improving the health care of individual people to improving, to even changing the way pharmaceuticals are used throughout the world by conducting innovative research. And so I just want to take a few more moments to talk about some descriptors of what you'll become over the course of the next 4 years and into your future as becoming a pharmacist. First, you'll become a caregiver, but you'll provide patient-centered care as a medication expert. Second, you'll become a manager, managing patient healthcare needs using personal, financial, technological, and physical resources. Next, you'll become a promoter or innovator, designing prevention, intervention, and educational strategies to manage chronic disease and improve health and wellness. Fourth, you'll become a researcher or problem solver. Now, we're not turning into you a graduate student and PhD, but you'll learn to identify problems, explore potential strategies, and design, implement, and evaluate a solution. Fifth, you'll become a patient advocate, assuring that the patient's best interests are represented. You also become a collaborator, actively participating in the healthcare team as a member by demonstrating mutual respect, understanding, and values to meet what patients need. And I'm getting close to the end. You'll become a communicator, effectively communicating verbally and non-verbally when interacting with patients and groups. And finally, you'll become a pharmacist, applying the knowledge to explain drug action, solving therapeutic problems, and advancing patient care. So think back to these descriptors as you go through your classes, as you join student organizations, and as you participate in activities. I predict you'll be amazed how your thoughts and skills and attitudes have changed and shaped you into these roles. Now, the university has values of service, curiosity, respect, accountability, and appreciation. And the pledge of professionalism you're taking today paves the way for you along the journey. You're pledging to set forth a life marked by self-awareness, of leadership, of innovation, of ethics, of honor and professionalism as a student pharmacist, and eventually as a doctor of pharmacy. You know, during my career, I've had the opportunity to practice in many areas of pharmacy over the past several decades. Education and lifelong approach to learning I received in this auditorium where I actually graduated, were instrumental in throughout my career, even though I had other professional degrees and training programs. So dream big of your pharmacy career, but don't be surprised if what you achieve goes well beyond those dreams. A former colleague of mine, Dr. Barbara Wells, recently said, "A pharmacy degree can provide you with a life of significance and meaningful connections." I can assure you in my 35-plus year career as a cancer researcher at WVU and at Duke and at St. Jude, in addition to my appointment as dean, were well beyond what I envisioned when I was sitting in your place and first in my family to attend college. So my sincerest congratulations on receiving your white coat. It's a symbol of professionalism, trust, and authority. Wear it with pride, humility, and always the promise of joyfully serving others. So we are honored that you've been selected to WVU as your home for the next 4 years, and I look forward to seeing you and how you will impact our community. And as our beloved voice of the WVU Mountaineers, Tony Critty, likes to say, it's a great day to be a Mountaineer. Now, finally, I would like to thank our faculty and staff who organized this event today, particularly Brenda Higa, who's lived it for many, many weeks, and our pharmacy student volunteers who've volunteered their nice Saturday morning to be here. So now, again, I would like to introduce Dr. Betsy Ellswick from the School of Pharmacy Alumni Association to provide some remarks.
Thank you, Dean Petrus. Appreciate that. It's good to see you all. Welcome. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Everybody's awake. They're ready to go. I see a lot of faces that are excited, maybe a little nervous, parents the same way. As Dean Petros introduced me, my name is Betsy Ellswick. I'm a faculty member here at the school. I'll have your students, and I'll have you all, in Farm 800. So I'll see you Thursday morning at 9 a.m. with Dr. Blommel. And we really are honored that you chose us to come to pharmacy school here. So excited to get to know you. I'm a second generation alum of this school. That's an interesting fact. My parents were classes in 1967 School of Pharmacy. That was way before any of you and your parents were born, but a good time to be here at WVU. So a lot of history. On behalf of the School of Pharmacy Alumni Association, that one of my jobs is to also direct and work with alumni relations, I'm honored to bring you all, your students and parents, grandparents, friends and family, bring you welcome, warmest wishes as you begin your pharmacy school career here at WVU. This is one of the best days of the year and the most exciting days of the year for us, other than the traffic. Sorry about that and the construction. So I always tell the dean, I'm like, I never really like to type out my remarks. I always like to feel the audience. I like to see where I'm at. I like to see what's going on when I'm thinking about what to say. And so I'm going to tell you a little story and I'll bring it back home here to the welcome. And this will be short, but I think it's important. So my family, I have a 14-year-old, and you'll hear about Ethan in class. So I'll save a lot of stories for you then. But I have a soon-to-be 14-year-old starting high school. So I'm a parent in a transition period too. I feel you guys deeply right now, leaving your kids here and trusting us with them. We'll take good care of them. But we decided to do a family vacation before he started high school. And we chose a summer vacation to a place that we've landed in a plane, but we've never really visited. So we chose Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. And if you've been there, you know kind of the majesty of that whole area. So as we were descending down into Denver, I looked over at Ethan, who, as any 14 or 13-year-old boys or girls usually doing, there's a lot of screens, right? So he's connected to the screens. And he was connected for the screens from about Pittsburgh to Denver. I have to be honest, but that's okay. And as we were coming down into Denver, I looked over at him and his face was glued to the airplane window. And that's really strange. So my first thought was, is there a plane coming at us? I'm being serious. I mean, you just never know, right? So I'm like, okay, what do I push the call button? And I'm watching him and his eyes are as big as saucers. And he says to me, "Mom, look at the mountains." I got a little teary-eyed because there are very few moments raising kids now where you have those moments of wonder and awe and newness, right? We're connected to our screens instead of each other. And I kind of touched my husband's elbow and I said, "Look at Ethan." And he said, "Mom, those are real mountains." And I said, "No, Ethan." I said, "Yeah, no, those are mountains. Like, I know I'm not a geology major, but those are definitely confirmed to be mountains and they are large." But I said, "You know what? Our mountains are pretty special too." There's 25 of you from outside of West Virginia, I think, if I got that statistic right. And maybe some of you even within West Virginia aren't aware of this. But this is kind of the story that I wanted to share with you. So as Ethan was looking at those big mountains and that big city down below and wondering what on earth could a child from West Virginia that might one day end up here at WVU be doing, I shared with him this. I said, "Ethan, those are big mountains, but our mountains are special too. They're really, really old." And again, I am a pharmacist. I am not a geologist, but I will tell you that our mountains here, which are the Appalachians, and the way you remember that is you throw an Appalachia, that's what our Appalachian history teacher, Golden Horseshoe winners that are nodding their heads know that. But our Appalachian mountains are really, really old. They're about 480 million years old compared to the Rocky Mountains, which are 55 to 80 million years young. Anybody know that? Some of you might. Why is that important? Well, even more so than that, what is really interesting is that the Appalachian Mountains were believed to be as high or higher than the Rocky Mountains and the Alps when our continents split. We live in a special place. Your children are going to a school that is marked with history. We have mountains that surround us. We have hills like you've never seen. We have steps from your parking lot. By the time that you're done with pharmacy school, you're going to be sporting real muscles in your legs, right? I'm serious. But what does this mean? So we went through the whole trip and I thought of you guys, even though I hadn't met you. Every trail I took, every path I took, I thought, what do I tell these students? And I thought about it like this: as an alum, what I think my fellow alumni would want to share with you is this: as you plan for your pharmacy school journey, plan for it like you're taking a hike in the mountains. And hopefully you will do that, right? So prepare, get your gear, all right? Study, know when your assignments are, right? Just like you go on a trail and you know, is it a 6-mile trail? Is it a 2-mile trail? Do I take 1 bottle of water? Do I take 3? What do I need to do? Surround yourself with people on that journey. They're going to help you if you get lost. Don't wait till you get lost to ask for help. Your faculty that were sitting here will tell you the same thing. Reach out to us. We want to help you. We want to help guide you, okay? And I think the last thing I would share with you, which is what I started this story with, is to keep that sense of wonder and awe. Take yourselves off your phones, put them down, put them away. I know you have AI. I know you have a lot of tools out there that can be helpful, but I want you all to become problem solvers. Carry on the history that the alumni that were here before you had and make a difference. You're entering a profession that you don't have to worry so much about making a living, they say, but making a difference. And I hope you feel that every time you enter a classroom, no matter how hard the day is, no matter how steep the climb is, you guys can do it. Okay. So that's my welcome to you all. As Dean Petros said, it is a great day to be a mountaineer. And as the new, I think, branding for WVU would be, let's go. All right. Welcome.
I would now like to welcome Dr. Gretchen Garofoli, professor in the Department of Clinical Pharmacy and the class advisor for the class of 2029, to the podium to welcome the students and lead them in the Pledge of Professionalism. Students, please stand.
Welcome. Will the class of 2029 please raise your right hand and repeat after me? As a student and future pharmacist, I dedicate myself to become a caring and knowledgeable healthcare professional. In doing so, I will employ the values of integrity, ethical behavior, and accountability. I will strive to achieve the highest ideals in teamwork and unity within the profession. I dedicate my life to continually update my knowledge and skills in order to provide optimal patient care. In fostering professionalism as a student pharmacist, I will uphold the WVU School of Pharmacy codes of academic and professional standards and integrity. I take this pledge voluntarily and will uphold its ideals as I advance toward full membership in the profession. Thank you. You may please be seated.
All right. Amr, would you please bring the first row to the stage? I would now like to introduce our faculty again who will be donning the white coats, Dr. Gretchen Garofoli, who you just heard from, Dr. Mohammed Al-Mamoon, and Dr. Marina Galvez Peralta. Students will be receiving their white coat and then signing the Pledge of Professionalism before returning to their seats. Janat Al-Shabib from Morgantown, West Virginia. Joshua Applegate from Hughesville, Pennsylvania. Heath Basala from Julian, Pennsylvania. Sarah Bell from Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Savannah Blythe from Bridgeport, West Virginia. Chase Bragg from Fayetteville, West Virginia. Brooks Callahan from Summersville, West Virginia. Maria Carmano from Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Sheridan Klein from Sykesville, Maryland. Harrison Cotton from Middletown, Delaware. Millie Kushwa from Martinsburg, West Virginia. Ryan Deal from Butler, Pennsylvania. Victoria DeJarnette from Beckley, West Virginia. Alex Dockery from Ewing Township, New Jersey. Grace Farmer from Morgantown, West Virginia. Emma Fields from Nitro, West Virginia. Aiden Fife from Williamstown, West Virginia. Daniela Frigill from Daniels, West Virginia. Andrew Freeland from Pennsboro, West Virginia. Taylor Godshaw from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. Hallie Green from Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Anna Hayhurst from Lumberport, West Virginia. Brianna Hinch from Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Allison Hoover from Cresson, Pennsylvania. Carissa Honeycutt from Union, West Virginia. Anna Kelly from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. McKenna Kelly from Glendale, West Virginia. Kendall Kirkwood from Frostburg, Maryland. Paul Knotts from Kaiser, West Virginia. Jonathan Kawatek from Inwood, West Virginia. Olivia Kuntz from Wheeling, West Virginia. Cameron Larrabee from Dunbar, West Virginia. Morgan Lesnansky from Steubenville, Ohio. Kaylin Manley from Altoona, Pennsylvania. Kira Marker from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Matthew McLean from Hughesville, Pennsylvania. Brandon Nichols from Summersville, West Virginia. Hyatt Okujman from Morgantown, West Virginia. Reagan Pack from Vowinkle, Pennsylvania. Madeline Piers from Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. Allison Romano from Morgantown, West Virginia. Sydney Schlieser from St. Albans, West Virginia. Gabriella Selders, Morgantown, West Virginia. Chloe Slaughter, Kaiser, West Virginia. Colton Smouse, Ridgely, West Virginia. Kira Schul, Hurricane, West Virginia. Alexis Tate, Morgantown, West Virginia. Danielle Thor, Cross Lanes, West Virginia. Lily Troutman, Mount Joy, Pennsylvania. Luke Walker, Jefferson, Maryland. Carrie Walls, Spanishburg, West Virginia. Austin Weiss, Cowan, West Virginia. Cheyenne Weld, California, Pennsylvania. Austin Wilford, Parkersburg, West Virginia. Jenna Wood, Bridgeport, West Virginia. Andrew Yonovic, Sinking Spring, Pennsylvania. Mariana Zieski, Swedesboro, New Jersey. Everyone, please join me in congratulating the class of 2029. I want to thank you all again for joining us today and celebrating this very important milestone in the journey of our future pharmacists of the class of 2029. We will have all students, faculty, staff, and guests exit the auditorium into the foyer area where we have specialty cookies and bottled water for you. As you exit, I'd also like to invite you to take a moment to visit the tables just to the right of the auditorium where our student organizations are selling a variety of School of Pharmacy items. Once again, congratulations to our students as they take this meaningful step forward in their professional journey. We look forward to everything you will all accomplish. Thank you again and enjoy your day.